Well, good day and welcome to episode 30 of The Driving Force, presented by the Louisiana Transportation Research Center. My name is Todd Blunt. I'm joined today by my friend, colleague, and co-host, Garrett Wheat.
Good afternoon.
We're so excited that you've chosen to join us here as we continue in our second year highlighting the people and projects who are driving change in Louisiana transportation. For nearly 40 years now, LTRC has merged the resources of state government and Louisiana universities to identify, develop, and implement new technology to enhance many critical aspects of the transportation system here in Louisiana and beyond. And we're continuing today in the second of a series of episodes highlighting the innovative and broad-ranging research of LTRC's Special Studies Research Group. So our guest on the show today is Dr. Elisabeta Mitran, who serves as LTRC's Safety Research Manager. Ellie's work focuses on improving and advancing the safety of various aspects of our transportation system here in the state. And we look forward to learning more about both the big picture of this important work, as well as several specific projects that she and her partners across the state are currently performing. So we'll step away briefly before we dive into our time with Dr. Mitran. Welcome back to The Driving Force. We're thrilled to welcome Dr. Elisabeta Mitran, LTRC's Safety Research Manager, to the podcast today to tell us more about the many ways she and her team are working every day to make our roads safer for everyone using them. Welcome, Ellie.
Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me.
Well, before we jump into the specifics of what you do, we'd love to get a sense of your personal background. So tell us a little bit, what and where did you study? Where has your career taken you prior to coming to LTRC?
Well, I think I will start with my undergraduate degree. So I got it from the University of Bucharest in Romania. I continued with a master in science at the same university. And after that, I decided to come here in the United States to do a PhD at the Louisiana State University. I got my PhD in 2010, and after that I stayed here with LSU to work for the Superfund Research Program, where I had the opportunity to work in the training corps with students, helping them with enhancing their presentation skills, grant writing skills, and dissertation skills, data management, and also I did the research. In 2015, I had the opportunity to join LTRC Safety Center as a safety research manager, and I was happy with the work done here, with the great team I was part of, and all these implementable research projects which can change the life of Louisiana's people. So after that, I was promoted as a research assistant professor at the University of Louisiana Lafayette.
Okay.
And I serve as a safety research manager, as you mentioned, here in the Special Studies program at LTRC.
Awesome. Can you explain why have you chosen to focus your research on transportation safety, and what do you enjoy most about the work that you get to do?
Well, as I say, when I started here at the LTRC with the Safety Center, I started with managing safety research projects, so I like that one. Also, I think that I choose safety because this is a collaborative approach and is integrated in all transportation program and research project, because the end goal is to provide, effective countermeasure to reduce fatalities and serious injuries on the Louisiana road. What I enjoy the most, I think, is managing the research projects. Here at the Special Study Program, I do managing, I do review of all contracted research, I help with the implementation of the research project, and also I supervise students. So far, I think I manage around 50 projects.
Oh, wow.
And I like it because with every new project I develop new collaboration with transportation professionals from academia, from DOTD, from other safety stakeholders, and also is good, because I learn new things for each project.
Yeah, I was about to ask who all you kind of work with, so it's good to hear that.
Well, I want to discuss with you and let our listeners just get a snapshot of a few of the different projects that are either recently completed or in progress. And so we'll start with one that is related to one of the most widely recognized safety countermeasures on Louisiana's transportation system is the cable barriers that we see on roadways across the state, particularly see them on the interstate highway system. And you recently oversaw a project investigating the effectiveness of these barriers in mitigating fatalities, serious injury crashes. So tell us more about this project and what you and your team learned through it.
Yes, this is a completed project already, as you mentioned. And just to mention what are these cable median barriers are lane departure safety countermeasure. And they are installed to prevent the cross median crashes on divided highways. When vehicles leave the roadway on the left side, traverse the median and collide into fixed objects or other vehicles traveling in the opposite direction. So in this project, to prevent such crashes, we wanted to see if these safety countermeasures have met their expected purpose by doing a comprehensive evaluation from both traffic safety and economic standpoint. So we evaluated almost 300 miles of cable median barriers implemented throughout the state and developed crash modification factors. So this means that we conducted before and after crash analysis to see how the crashes are on these roads where these cable median barrier are implemented, if they are down or not. We also conducted a benefit cost analysis using both economic unique and comprehensive crash costs to evaluate the cost effectiveness of these cable median barriers. So the findings of the project show that instead the cable median barriers are economically justified countermeasures effective in reducing this type of cross-median crashes, but most importantly, they were able to mitigate the crash severity, which means the fatalities.
Like the head-on?
Yes, fatalities and serious injuries, they were reduced significantly. We have some property damage, only crashes increased, but that is the purpose, to reduce the fatal and serious injury crashes.
In addition to assessing safety-focused infrastructure improvements, as you just talked about, you'll also look at the behavioral factors. We understand that you're currently investigating safety factors for older road users in Louisiana, including drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians. So could you share with us some of the highlights from that project as well?
Oh, yes. This project is almost done, so the final report will be published soon. But we started this project due to the fact that Louisiana had increasing trends in fatalities and serious injuries for drivers and pedestrians. So this means that in 2019, Louisiana met the Federal Highway Administration older driver and pedestrian special rule. And therefore, the purpose of this research project was to identify the contributing factors and recommend effective countermeasures and strategies that Louisiana can use to revise the strategic highway safety plan. So as you mentioned, we focus on older road users, which means 65 and up, for drivers, pedestrians, and bicyclists. So we investigated in this project 12 years of police-reported crash data, and we look at the licensing data. Some of the findings for the driver, we noticed that the Louisiana licensed older driver population increased almost 50% during the study period.
Oh, wow.
So yes, we have a lot of older drivers on our street. So we also noticed, unfortunately, a significant increase in total crashes and severe crash, which is fatal and, severe crashes. Yes. If we compare these crashes with the other categories of drivers, older drivers were more involved in intersection-related crashes, especially, left turn, and right angle collisions. We also noticed that, frequent contributing violations such as failure to yield, careless operation, disregarding traffic control devices are most, prevalent for the older drivers. If we look at the older pedestrian I'm talking, we found that majority of the crashes occurred in the night with no street light, and crashes involving vehicles such as light trucks and SUV were most, significantly for the older pedestrians. For the pedal cyclist or bicyclist, crashes were less because older
Might not be biking as much.
not use too much of this mode of transportation. However, we found that these crashes occur during daytime and fatal crashes during the nighttime with no street light. And contributing factors such as failure to yield or red signal violation were, prevalent for this category of.
Does the data show anything about urban versus rural, since you're talking like at night and no lights?
Yes.
Okay.
We noticed that one, and we look in the final report, you will see more information about that one, because it's, depending of urban, if older drivers are more overrepresented in total crashes. However, fatal crashes are more on the rural road, if I remember well. So more information in the final report, and the name of the final report is All the Road User Safety in Louisiana, Understanding the Contributing Factors.
Yeah, Todd will link all of the studies.
Yeah, we're gonna link to all the publications that we're talking about so that people can go and read more as they're interested. Yeah. Well, another in-progress project that you and your team have been working on focuses on the impact of speeding in crashes. And I think most of us intuitively understand that speeding and safety are closely related, but what are some of the key insights that you're gaining from this research? And is there anything you think would surprise our listeners about what you're learning?
As you say, yes, this is an ongoing project, and we started in 2024. And Milhan is the principal investigator for this project, so I'm PI for this project. And yes, as you mentioned, they are closely related speeding, because vehicle operating speed greatly impact both frequency of crashes and severity of crashes, as previous research show. So just to give you an example, in the last years in the United States, we have an average of 30% from traffic fatalities which are due to the speeding.
Wow.
That the same is for Louisiana. So
You're saying nationwide around 30,000 fatalities?
No, 30%. 30% of traffic fatalities are due to the speeding.
Okay.
Really?
So per year, an average of 29, 30% is there, but it's a lot if we look at the data. So the goal of this project is to perform a comprehensive analysis of speeding-related crashes and speed data to understand the magnitude of the problem on Louisiana's interstate and non-interstate roadways. So we will perform a crash analysis to identify the contributing factors and to identify the high-risk location, as well as to investigate the operating speeds on these identified high-risk location. So preliminary findings shows that we had an increase, as I say, in the speeding-related crashes in the last years in Louisiana. Male drivers were the most likely to be speeding of the time
That's
of
surprising.
Yeah,
fatal
fair
crash.
enough.
Yes, driver distraction, not using the seat belt, these are significantly increasing the fatality risk in the speeding-related crash. So these findings will enable the implementation of targeted countermeasures to manage and mitigate the speeding-related crashes on the Louisiana roadways.
Well, thank you, Ellie. Just to kind of round this out, is there anything we haven't covered that you would like our listeners to know about, either you or your partners or the work that y'all do on a day-to-day basis?
Yes, I think, as I mentioned here in the special study group, I'm managing the special studies project. I am conducting research, and I'm coordinating efforts to disseminate and implement the research findings. also involved in supervising students. And I serve on master and dissertation committee for all these graduate students at the University of Louisiana Lafayette. I also serve on the national panels, for example, behavioral traffic safety cooperative research programs. So far, I think this is my fourth project with them. And also, I am a voting board member for the Traffic Safety Culture Transportation Pool Fund program. I think at the end, what I want the listener to know is I like to emphasize that with each research project we are doing here at LTRC, we have an opportunity to further improve traffic safety. However, everyone has to understand that to achieve the zero fatalities and serious injuries on Louisiana roads, we need to start with us and our driving behavior, such as don't drive distracted, don't be aggressive, don't drive
speed.
impaired, don't speed, and share the road with pedestrians and bicyclists.
I have 2 teenage drivers in my house right now, and I think I'll make this episode required listening for them before they get behind the wheel.
Thank you. Yes, that's very important.
Well, thank you, Ellie, for joining us today and sharing about the important work you do and how it benefits everyone who utilizes Louisiana's roadways each day. I think I speak for all of our listeners when I say that we're so grateful for your ongoing commitment to our safety. So before we go, we'd like to have just a little bit of fun with you. We have a few final lightning round questions. Don't think too hard about these. Garrett's going to ask you to share a few things with us.
Okay.
So the first one kind of adds on to that last little question there, but as someone who does study traffic safety pretty much in depth, do you have any personal pet peeves as a driver that you see other drivers do?
I don't know what to say. As I say, don't drive distracted. That's enough. Cell phone is something that you don't have to use, and so.
Well, luckily in 2026, Louisiana has a law.
I was to say, it's illegal now.
We just started, yes, in January 2026 with, hands-free Louisiana.
Yeah.
So don't drive with a phone because, fines are very high, very high, especially if you are in the school zone area or work zone area. So it's very.
You had mentioned your undergrad and grad degrees were from Romania.
Yes.
Being from there, can you share one unique thing that someone like us would be surprised to know? Well, I was going to follow up with what are the 1 to 2 must-do things?
Unique thing, maybe if no one know, maybe Bucharest was called the Little Paris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that might be unique.
Yeah. Okay. And what would be 1 or 2 must-dos?
If we ever find ourselves
if
in
you
that part of the
find
world,
yourself
what should we absolutely do?
Oh, please visit Romania. It's a very nice country. So that will be hard to say. If you like outside, as I know you like outside activities, a must thing to do is visit Carpathians. Do a hike in the Carpathian Mountains.
Okay.
And you can, visit cities such as Brașov, Sibiu, Sinaia. These are gateway cities where you can have access to beautiful hiking trails from there. And once you are there, be sure that visit, castle, beautiful castle, such as Peleș Castle or
We'd
Bran
love to visit
Castle,
some
which is
castles.
Dracula Castle. Everyone knows about that. Or, if you like food,
We like food.
We do.
Must try is Romanian sarmale, which is a stuffed cabbage roll. It's our traditional food. And another thing is mici. Is the Romanian word is mici, which is type of Romanian sausage. Is very good, and you can find in any restaurant that one. So
We'll add it to the list. That's great.
That's
No,
great,
thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And then the last question, we're told that you're quite a skilled baker. So by the look on your face, I would imagine that's true. Can you share one of your favorite dishes to bake and maybe something that's from scratch as opposed to a recipe?
Oh yes, I love baking. That's my favorite free time, and I like to try different recipes, and yes, from scratch I'm doing. But I think the most one, which I do almost every other week, is homemade bread. And everyone who try my homemade bread is in love with that bread. I do a very simple recipe, a bread, and I also do a Romanian sweet bread, which is called cozonac, from scratch, and it's a very long process, at least 3 hours or longer from the beginning to the end.
Okay.
But it's so good that it's worth the
It's worth
effort.
it.
All right. Well, now you have to let us experience what you've described to us, right? Because you're making us hungry here. That sounds so good.
In the special study group, yes, they try, this Romanian bread. And they love it. So definitely I need to put on my list to bring to you guys.
Well, thank you so much again for your time and just for everything you shared with us today. Really appreciative of you taking a few minutes out of your busy schedule to join us. We're excited to continue learning more about what's happening in special studies and why it matters so much in the next few episodes. We're going to take one more break before we come back to close out today's episode. Well, that's a wrap on episode 30 of The Driving Force, presented by the Louisiana Transportation Research Center. You can learn more about what's happening at LTRC on a daily basis by visiting us online at ltrc.lsu.edu or on social media through Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We encourage you to like, follow, and subscribe to our channels on each of these platforms. We also encourage you to explore the wide variety of published work from Dr. Mitran and our entire special studies group, which is available on our LTRC website under publications, and we will link to that in today's show notes as well. We hope you'll join us on our next episode as we continue this series by welcoming Dr. Milhan Moomin. He's going to be discussing his work in intelligent transportation systems and traffic research. Until then, we are your hosts, Garrett Wheat and Todd Blunt, and we thank you so much again for joining us today. Drive safely out there.